That was a screenshot button. This is the record button. Hey guys, my name is TheoVann. I'm going to do some reactions to some of the reactions of the omnibus bill passing by some of the senators. First up, we have Leahy. Don't know. Just don't like what he says.
Senator Leahy.
Thank you, Leader. I totally agree with everything the leader has said.
We're off to a really shitty start. If you agree with everything Chuck Schumer says, you're probably also a really big POS that likes to splurt out, "I'll help you poor people. Just vote for me."
Started working on this last summer. I've encouraged as many senators of both parties to come and work with us, talk with us, see what we can do. I'm glad that so many did, and I'm glad that at the end some in the other party did too. I think they know that there are things in here that they've always said back home they want. But now they have a chance to vote for it or vote against it. Everybody's been for.
This is on 1.25 speed, by the way.
For the PACT Act to care for our veterans, well then show that.
Let's back that up.
Or vote against it. Everybody's been for the PACT Act to care for our veterans, well then show that.
Okay, right there. He says, everybody's for the PACT Act to show for our veterans. Show that by voting for all this other shit. That's deceptive. That's manipulation. That's holding things hostage. That's holding the veterans hostage is what that's doing. Now, on that note, I'd also like to point out, this came out in Breitbart, report National Guard to send final paychecks before Christmas late as Biden admin sends billions to Ukraine. By the way, it's not just Biden's admins, Biden's Democratic side. It's also some Republican sides as well. Oh, we got to do what we got to do. Bullshit.
The omnibus bill does that. You're either for it or against it. The CHIPS Act.
So there's very disingenuous. You're either for it or you're against it. You're either helping our veterans or you're not. So if you vote against this bill, you're not for helping our veterans. It's very disingenuous. It's disgusting because it's demonizing people because they don't want to vote to send money to billionaires' pockets.
I'm for that. I'm proud to be for it. I came out of the hospital to sign the bill, the CHIPS Act. I was that proud of it. It's here. Vote for it. The infrastructure law. I don't know how anybody could be against that. It's in here. Show by your vote how you are. Families are dealing with the cost of heating, childcare, college.
All in all, he's going to be saying all these buzz things that are in the bill that most people agree with. The problem is it's an omnibus bill, meaning that there's other things attached to it that puts billionaires in a much better place. Wealthy people, they're like, hey, listen, poor person. Hey, listen here, little victim. If you vote for me, I'll be your hero. That's what they're saying. It's very disingenuous. I've said disingenuous so many damn times. It's just, that's exactly what politics is these days. I'll help you. I'll save you. Give me more power. Give me more money. It's not true. They're just taking advantage of your stupid camaraderie. Stupid camaraderie.
College, housing. So many of the things the leader mentioned are in there. If you want to fund the troops and their families, vote for this bill. If I spent a career here in trying to...
Right there. I spent a career here. Government's not supposed to be a career. You're not supposed to make a living off of it. But they do. And they become very, very wealthy. Guarantee that tie probably costs more than your rent. Most of the people around my neck of the woods.
To protect victims of domestic violence, both adult and child. Vote for this bill. The money's in there. I mean, I could go into a whole lot, but let me look at the people that worked on it. Senator Patty Murray is going to be the next.
One thing I'm afraid of with the whole domestic violence thing against children, what if I don't agree? Like, yeah, if you're hurting, laying hands on a woman or anybody, any adult, sure, or any kid, if you're laying hands on them, I'm against that. Everybody's against that. If you're not, you're a piece of shit for sure. But what is it whenever they start like doing these like little things like, well, if you don't agree with me, you're probably hurting your kid. If you're not doing the things the exact same way that I'm doing, like such as Joe Biden, you know how he raised his kids, every one of them on drugs. You know what I mean? If you're not doing the same thing he's doing, you're not raising your kids right, so you're probably abusing them. And we need to do something about that. I don't agree with that. Stay the fuck away from my kids.
Chair of the Senate Appropriations Committee. She's come into this thing line by line, knowing exactly what it does. And she has encouraged and brought together others to support it. Senator Stabenow, who's here, is going to have more of a voice of rural America than any of us, as well as large states.
I'd like to point out this woman right here. She does not look happy. She's like, we're sending so much money. We're spending $1.7 trillion and like crumbs are going to Americans. That's it. That's what I see whenever I see her. Her face. Just my conjecture.
Just like hers. She has helped us craft each part of it. The thing I'm saying is that for weeks and weeks, actually months and months, way into the evening, weekends and all, senators came together to help.
No, he was right the first time. Did you catch that?
Thing is that for weeks and weeks, actually
Weeks and weeks. They've had a year to put this together, and they've only been doing it for weeks. That's him spilling the beans right there. Well, I mean months and months. Yeah, we've been working our asses off, earning that paycheck for months and months. Weeks, if that.
months and months, way into the evening, weekends.
Worked
and all,
overtime for that
senators came together to help,
$175,000 a year.
Point by point. We didn't
Yep.
call press conferences. We didn't do a whole lot. We just did the work. Now, I think we have
Back-breaking, taking money from lobbyists to put all this shit together for you to get nothing, but yet you're going to pay for it.
a product we can all be proud of. We can all vote for. Somebody said to me, "Oh, I didn't get everything I wanted." I said, I think some people only got 95% of what they wanted. I've been here 48 years. I'd call that a pretty darn good victory. And
Wait, what
this
is
is a good one. I've been here 48 years.
He's been collecting a paycheck paid by taxpayers for 48 years. He doesn't look to be hurting. He doesn't look like he's going to have to try and find a way to heat his house or worry about the price and the Biden inflation. He doesn't look like that right now. 48 years. Okay. Almost as long as Biden, actually. Yeah. Okay, that's a blue representative. Let's look at what a red representative, a red state representative, Tom Cotton, my senator. Y'all see the names of the videos and stuff like that. Y'all can go check out the full thing. I'm just going to show some things that I heard that were buzzwords for me.
Now, Senator, I've explained to people this morning what Leader McCarthy said to Maria Bartiromo. The Senate can't take the risk of the House not being organized and not being able to pass a CR, especially the Pentagon. So I think you've got to pass this, even though if McCarthy had the gavel, things would be different in January. Is that part of the reasoning that you've heard in the caucus why you have to go for the omnibus now rather than wait for the House to get its act together, which could take weeks, months, who knows?
Should we go on ahead and give in to the bullshit just to get a little bit of what we want? Should we go on ahead and give them everything they want, or 95%, for just a little bit of what we want? Should we go on ahead and compromise?
Well, no question, Hugh. There are many Senate Republicans who worry.
Pentagon needs its money. The Pentagon just, by the way, misplaced $2 billion. Last time that happened, 2 towers fell. Unaccountable. But they need to tax you for anything you make over $600 in Cash App.
That the new House Republican majority will not be able to pass spending bills with 218 Republican votes come January or February. And the way that dynamic would play out,
We ain't gonna get anything when we want it anyway. So let's go on ahead and give them what they want right now, so we can get a little bit of what we want. Now I want you. To me, that's weak. That is the weakness. That is Tell them to fuck off. Don't give. Everybody's suffering as it is. Everybody's suffering under Biden inflation as it is. Biden inflation. People's bills are going up. People's groceries are going up. All this shit's going up. Guess what? We're sticking it out. And all they're doing is passing shit to make that go up more. Well, if you're lucky, you might see a crumb. If you're lucky. That's both sides. This is a Republican from Arkansas, the red state. So red that they banned abortion completely. Completely. All in all, I wouldn't have a problem with it if he didn't have this book. What's it called? Where's it at? Right somewhere. I don't know. They talk about it. I think he talks about it right there at the beginning.
The left's plot to sabotage American power. It's the brand new book by Senator Tom Cotton, who joins me now. Good morning, Senator Cotton.
It's right at the very beginning.
Welcome back, America. If you're still Christmas shopping, I have in my hand
Only the Strong. Only the Strong is Tom Cotton's book. And yet he's like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give in to the Dems' demands to get not what we need, but a little bit. But let's give them everything. Let's give Ukraine another $47 billion. How much are you going to get for your state, Tom? I don't know. Is some of this going back into your pocket? I would not doubt it. I would not doubt it one damn bit. Thank you, Doc Washburn, for pointing out that my senator also did something to go with this whole outrageous thing that's going to make everything. I mean, it's a burning ship. So why wouldn't they go all in to make themselves wealthy, right? Themselves, not the American people. More like Ukrainian people and their borders and shit like that. But anyway. Okay. So, why am I pointing that out? Well, because sometimes people do have American values. Okay. Sometimes people do have American values and they don't get heard. Not enough. Who am I talking about? Let's see.
5 minutes to my good friend from the great state of Texas, Chip Roy.
Gentleman from Texas is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank the Speaker. I thank the gentleman
On
from Pennsylvania.
1.255 speed.
I can't help but be amused that the gentleman from Massachusetts says that we refuse to come to the table. As if the gentlelady who will soon be the chairwoman of appropriations, Ms. Granger, my colleague from Texas, doesn't want to sit at the table with colleagues on either side of the aisle to come to consensus about how to spend taxpayer dollars, or better stated, how to borrow money we don't have. As if that's actually true. What table is the gentleman referring to? What table does he want us to come sit down and negotiate? It's not this table. I don't have the power to offer an amendment on the floor of the House of Representatives, despite being elected by 750,000 Texans. I don't have the ability or the right to be able to stand up for them and have a debate on the floor of this chamber. Everything the American people is watching right now is a complete sham. It's a fraud. A fraud being perpetrated on the American people right before their eyes, right as we head into Christmas. Sitting here on the 23rd of December, when 6 years ago, those boys crossed the Delaware. We were dealing with Valley Forge, or the boys in 1944 sitting in foxholes in Bastogne over Christmas. And we had 18 Republicans who joined with Democrats in the Senate, get on their fancy planes and go home, and we're sitting here trying to do the work of the people. Not spend money we don't have, not drive up more inflation, not have 7,500 earmarks for $16 billion for pet leftist projects across this country. What you see here on the floor of the House of Representatives should make everybody ashamed. The People's House. Not one amendment has been offered on the floor of this body since May of 2016 in open debate. The gentleman from Massachusetts dares to impugn the character of the Appropriations Chairwoman Kay Granger and those Republicans he says won't sit at the table, when in fact what you see here is a 4,100-page bill cooked up by a handful of people behind closed doors, brought before the Rules Committee with no ability to offer an amendment, no ability to debate, no actual discussion on the People's House floor. And my colleagues on the other side of the aisle know it. And we're spending money we don't have. Go home and sell your projects. Go home and talk about all the pork you're bringing home. But you're destroying the United States of America. Absolutely destroying this body. The American people did not send us here to do that. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle know that. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle know full well that this body is broken, but do not care. $45 billion to Ukraine. Have we had a full debate on Ukraine? Or did we take $45 billion of funding for Ukraine, package it on a $1.7 trillion bill, invite the president of Ukraine to address this body for theatrics heading out for Christmas in order to jam through a big spending Democrat priority bill that the American people resoundingly rejected in November? For 70 years, this body, when we've had a transfer of power in the Senate, we have not done this in a lame duck. Yet that's what my Democrat colleagues are doing. There are consequences to this. You can't go out and talk about inflation and talk about what the American people are feeling right now when they're trying to fill up their tanks with gas, they're trying to have presents for their families, they're trying to pay their bills, and then come here and dump hundreds of billions of dollars into the economy while the Fed's raising interest rates and people can't afford to buy homes and they can't live, and say you're doing the people's work. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle, night before last, were apoplectic that Mike Lee was daring to challenge the idea that we should have a bill that literally prohibits Border Patrol from securing the border. He wanted to try to fix that, try to extend Title 42. My Democrat colleagues rejected it, and I sat here on the floor, and they were more concerned about catching their flights for Christmas, coming to me and saying, we can't be here over Christmas. Well, why the hell not? The American people deserve us to be here over Christmas, actually fighting for them, instead of trying to catch planes while half this body are going to vote by proxy. Half this body's not even going to be here, and they're lying. They're lying on forms saying that they're voting by proxy for COVID, and it's a lie. And half this body's going to do it, you know it, and it's destroying this country. I'm not going to just sit here and roll over on this. This is going to continue. The American people are going to know precisely what's happening to them by the people's house. I yield back.
For more on this,
See, that's so weird how it goes from I'm all about America and the Americans deserve more. Your time's expired. Man, shut up. Stop talking. My gosh, you make me sick wanting to help Americans. We've got Ukrainians out there to fund. We got money to give them to come back to our pockets. You need to shut the hell up. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. We know it. Everybody fucking knows it. And the ones that don't know it are also the ones that sit here and think, well, I'm better than you. It's just that simple. I listen to the science. The science. You know, that guy, Fauci. I listen to him. They listen to the ones, they're enemies. They are enemies. I'm unsure what to do. I think we all are. I think we all should be getting prepared for something that is going to hurt us because we're not standing up like Chip Roy is, but we're giving in to, how do I put it? Tyranny is the word I was looking for. We're not defending ourselves. We're only abiding time for somebody else to fix our problems. And I don't see all of us standing up to fix our problems anytime soon. Not until it's too late. Anyway, well, if you liked it, like, subscribe, share. By the way, I'll be doing a giveaway at like 1,000 subscribers, which is not going to be anytime soon, but hopefully the microphone that I'm giving away will be still relevant at that time. I'm pretty sure it will be. It's been a pretty damn good mic. Anyway, keep up the good work and have a good day. Bye.